Hello everybody.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi Raju, Sweta and Hassan.
Fine.
Okay. How are you?
Fine.
You're fine. Good.
Good.
You're looking tired. Have you been attending the classes since morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, okay, good. Hassan, you said that you have come quickly, right? After dropping your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. How far is your place from here?
It is, I think, 12 kilometers from here.
Do you come on bike?
Yes, ma'am. I come on bike.
Do you regularly come on bike?
Not regularly.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Good, good. So that do you ride your bike fast?
No, medium, average.
With a medium speed. Good, good. So that you won't go with a rash driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you don't drive carelessly.
No, ma'am. I drive carefully.
You always right? Right?
I always ride with care.
With care. That is carefully. Okay, good, good. Shweta, you are interested in reading books, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. How often do you read books?
Regularly.
Very regularly.
Daily while coming in the bus, I read.
Daily. Oh,
Daily.
great. Okay. Right. So daily you read the books. Good, good, good. Raju, are you still speaking slowly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then when will you learn speaking loudly?
I'm trying to get out from that.
Okay. Okay. Good, good. Do you get up early every day? You get up late. Good, good. After joining Ramakrishna Math also.
I'm trying to get up in the morning.
You are trying to get up early in the morning. Good. Okay, good. So, in your day's routine, right, you come across many words. Right? We categorize them under different parts of speech. Good. So then, some words, they do the part of more than one parts of speech that we can learn later. But in your answers, I would like to pick up a few words. And Hassan told me he rides the bike carefully. Right. And Shweta told me she reads books regularly. Right. Hassan rides the bike carefully. Good. And Shweta reads novels regularly. Raju gets up late, okay, but he is trying to wake up early. These underlined parts, okay, what are they speaking about and what are they speaking about?
About the actions.
About the actions. That's wonderful. So rides is an action. Rides carefully. Right. Reads is an action. Reads regularly. And wake up. So he is trying to wake up. Wake up early or gets up late. Right. Gets up late or waking up early. Good. So in these words, regularly, carefully and early, 3 of them, they are speaking about actions. What are action words? Called verbs. Okay, they are called as verbs. So these words are speaking about basically verbs. Means are they adding some meaning to the verbs? Are they adding some information to the verbs? Right, they are adding some information to the verbs. So we call them as adverbs. Okay, today our topic is on adverbs. Right, as they add some information to the verbs, we call them as adverbs. But look at these sentences. The baby is very cute. Right. She spoke quite well. Right. They are extremely happy. They are extremely happy today. They are extremely happy today. Right. So in this, the baby is cute. The cute is speaking about the baby. So it is describing the baby. So what is a describing word called? Adjective. So cute is an adjective. And she spoke well. So how did she speak well? So just now we said when we speak about actions, they are adverbs. So well is an adverb. Is it, Hassan? Good. Then they are extremely happy. They are happy. Happy is the state of mind. Okay, so this is also adjective. Is there any doubt about it? Okay, I'm happy, they are happy, right? So then happy is an adjective. So here it is speaking about verbs, here it is speaking about adjective, and okay, good. In this, when we think of these sentences, and let's go with this one also. We play in the ground sometimes, right? In these sentences, when we said the adverb speaks about verb, and it also here the baby is cute, adjective, there is one more word in front of cute. Is this word speaking about cute?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it adding some more meaning? So this very is adding some meaning to adjective. So this one also we call as adverb. So adverbs add meaning to verbs and add meaning to the adjectives also. Right? Adjectives also. So as here, they are extremely happy. As happy is adjective, this extremely we can call as adverb. Right? And now this well is already adverb. See. Then there is one more which is saying that how well. Right? How well did she speak? How well did she speak? Then we say quite. So this is also adverb. That means it also speaks about adverbs. Right. So when this adverb speaks about verbs, adjectives and another adverbs, its duty is how. Right. It's questioning the verb as how. How did she speak? Right. And it's questioning adjective. How beautiful is the baby? How cute is the baby? How happy are they? Right? How? Here also we are saying. Right. In this sentence, the adverb when it questions the adverb, how well did she speak? Not only that, how did she speak? When we say how did she speak, we can just say that she spoke well. But how well did she speak? She spoke quite
Quite
well.
well.
So this quite is also an adverb. So adverb is modifying. Okay, modifying, adding more words, more meaning. So a modifying word. How we call adjective as a describing word, we can call adverb as a modifying word because it adds more meaning. Right? Then apart from this, when you look into this sentence, see, okay, very cute, quite well, extremely happy, they say they increase, that they increase, they intensify the meaning, right? They intensify, they add more meaning to that. So we can call them as intensifiers. These very, quite, extremely, all are called intensifiers, right? And now when we look into that, sometimes, then one more. Okay. Teja is busy always. This you can use, Teja is always busy. So this always you can use here also. So sometimes, always. You are learning adverbs now. So if you write that sentence also, we are learning adverbs now. This now. So here regularly, here sometimes, here now, here always. What are they speaking about? Regularly, generally, normally, sometimes, often, always. About action only, but what do they indicate?
Time.
Time. Very good. They indicate time. So here intensifiers, and there we have adverbs of time. Thus, these adverbs also can be classified. Let us see how they are classified and what do they speak about the verbs, adjectives as well as
Adverbs.
adverbs. So when we just put the adverbs here, right, we have adverbs of time. Thus we have adverbs of place. And we said like carefully, right, early, carefully, and quickly, and also slowly, right, beautifully, melodiously. So in such ways we call them as manner, adverbs of manner,
Manner.
right? And we have adverbs of degree, right? Adverbs of degree also we have. When we say this time, adverbs of time, then you say early is time, okay, sometimes is time, always is time, rarely is also time, seldom, which speaks that very rarely. For example, if you take up this one, you often meet friends, but you seldom visit your grandparents, right? You always like to be in the company of your friends, but you rarely visit your relatives. And especially these days, meeting relatives, attending functions, going to grandparents' village, all have come down, right? As you people are busy with your studies, right? Okay, good. So when you say, and of course I say, you often watch TV programs and movies, but you seldom visit a library, I believe. Huh? You seldom visit. Okay. So these all speak about the adverbs of time. Then when we say this, Next to this is,
Play.
right now we are in the garden. So we are outside, right? We are outside the classroom. Okay. When you attend the class, you are inside the classroom. Where are your classes? Upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs. Good. So do you go up? Right. Do you go up to the second floor to attend the prayer?
Yes.
Good. When you climb up the hill, do you climb down the hill too? Right. So these upstairs, right, and ground floor, up, down, right, across. You walk across, you walk along, right. These all they speak. And now we have a class here. Okay. Sometimes we have a class there. Right. These here, there, along, across. See here, up, down, across, along, they are used as prepositions too. But their usage is in different place and different category. Right. I go up if you say. Then I go up. You are speaking about that to attend the prayer. I go up to the second floor. Right. Here in this. Okay. This is speaking about the place where you are
Going.
doing. So here it is telling about the adverb. Right. Okay. Then manner. As we said, quickly. Right. With the whistle of that police, the thief left the place quickly. Right. As the baby is sleeping, the mother enters this room slowly. Right. Okay. On the 2nd June, is it the 2nd June where we celebrate Telangana Day? Right. So all the Hyderabad, all the places in Hyderabad are decked up beautifully. Right. And our Hassan drives the bike carefully. Right. Carefully. So quickly, slowly, beautifully, carefully. And we can say dangerously. So these manner adverbs actually are formed by adding ly to the adjectives. Right. All these manner, the adjectives, adverbs which speak about manner, they are mostly formed by adding ly to the adjective. Supposing you say neat plus ly, neatly. Right. She's writing the notes neatly. Right. Neat plus. And like that, quick plus ly. Quickly. Right. And how many students are there here? Approximately. So that approximate, approximately. Right. Dangerous, dangerously. Adventurous, adventurously. And informative, informative. Like that.
What is the difference between neat and neat? Both are
Neat is, yes, exactly. Neat is, her handwriting is neat. Okay, it's a neat place. See, it's a neat place. In this, place is a noun and neat is speaking about the place, noun. So this is adjective, not an adverb. By adding ly to this, we are changing from this adjective's description to she writes neatly. See, she writes neatly. Right. How does she write? Neatly. So how does she write? This way say. She writes neatly. Then this degree also. We have like degree, we have adverbs of reason. Whatever answers the question of reason, we speak that adverbs of reason. And we have adverbs of result. Right? Adverbs of result we can have. And adverbs of frequency also we have, which speaks always, regularly, sometimes they come under frequency. Right?
Ma'am, for the
Yes.
manner, you told that if we add ly, it turns to her
Yes,
adverb. But for
yes.
the word heart, it doesn't give the
That's
same
a
meaning.
wonderful question. See, when we say heart, by adding hard ly, we have a word hardly.
But it doesn't give the
But-
same meaning.
Yes, exactly. This hardly word is not the same extension of the meaning of hard. For example, if you see that she works hard, in this hard is an adjective actually, but here this is not an adjective. Supposing this is hard, it is hard. The material is hard. Here only it is adjective. So here it doesn't mean to say that it is adjective only always. When we say she works hard, this hard, how does she work? Our question, standard question is there. How does she work? This speaks that adverb. So this hard is the adverb to this hard adjective only, because this hardly gives you the meaning of never. Right? I hardly spoke in the class. Okay, initially a few students hardly speak in the class. But with classes, when they attend the classes regularly, they can speak freely. Right? So hardly doesn't give you the same meaning of hard. This is where the one parts of speech also appear as another parts of speech, but their work is different. Similarly, you have fast, right? The clock is fast today. Means it's running fast. The clock is fast today, right? Is fast. Fast is adjective. When you say he runs fast, so in this case, this fast is adverb because it is speaking. Here also fast, here also fast. So these words, they act like adjectives when they are used with nouns or be forms, and they act like adverbs when they speak about actions. Right? There is a lot.
He runs
Yes.
fastly.
No, he runs fastly is a wrong sentence. This is where we corrected it. Right? He runs fast. Right? He runs fast, not fastly. There is no word fastly as an adverb. Right? When you look into these sentences, Raja reads quite clearly. What is an adverb? Hassan?
Clearly and quite.
Clearly. Quite also is an adverb. So two adverbs we have in this. He arrived late yesterday.
Late.
Late?
Yes.
What about yesterday? Yesterday too? Right. Yesterday speaks about time. Right? Late. This speaks about the manner. Right? Came late. She always tries to do her best. Always. Good. Don't talk while she is singing. Don't talk while she is singing. While. Right? And he led the car wherever he wanted to go. He led the car wherever he wanted to go. A place related one. She writes neatly, already we have discussed. Right? Have you understood what the adverbs are? Try to write some sentences and just do them as homework and get them to the next class. Right? Thank you.
Now, listen to two friends discussing some important issue. Varsha.
Good evening, Mansi.
Varsha, I recently got a call from a company and they've asked me to come on a particular date for an interview. Now, I've prepared my subject matter. So,
Okay.
on a technical level, I feel okay.
Okay.
But what can I do to make sure that I do well in the interview? On a whole, how do I prepare for it?
Okay, let me start by telling you what exactly an interview process is. Interview is just a conversation where questions are asked and answers are given. Now, the interview can be one-to-one or many-to-one. Ante, one-to-one will be one where there is an interviewer, the person who is interviewing, and an interviewee, the person who is supposed to be interviewed. Or they could be a panel of interviewers, like a group of them, and they could be asking you questions. Now, the first and foremost thing that you must remember is, it is as much as you wanting to find out whether you want to work for that company as it is for them to find out if they want to hire you.
So, basically, ఈ కంపెనీ నా కోసం కరెక్టా కాదా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ప్లస్ వాళ్ళు నన్ను హైర్ చేస్తారా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి for both of them an interview helps.
Absolutely, it is a two-way process. This we must remember. It is most important. Now, I will give you a list of do's and don'ts for the interview. Do's as in the list, you must do it. The first thing in that list will be to prepare a biodata. A biodata or a resume will contain all your academic details. That is your school marks, your college marks, extracurricular activities, any academic achievements that you have achieved will be listed in it, so that the interviewer will know what you have learned and what you have studied. The next will be to arrive on time to the interview. Now, they have given you a time, so you have to arrive on time. Don't be late. If you can be early, that is not a problem, but don't be late.
But what if I am 5 minutes late?
The companies today are very particular. They like employees who are absolutely punctual. So, you have to try and manage to be there on time. The next will be to have a proper dress code. Ante, try not to wear something that is too flashy, too bright and too loud. Try to dress soberly and formally for the interview.
So, I should dress simply.
Simple, keep it simple. Dress for the occasion, that's it. The next will be to research about the organization. This is very, very important. You need to know for which company you're interviewing. You need to know everything about the company, to research about it thoroughly and learn. And the best way to find out about this will be through a website. Today, every company has its own website. All you have to do is open the website, learn about the company. What is their work? What are their work values? What is that a company is expecting of their employees? So, you will also be mentally prepared. The next will be have good manners. Now, where does this work? Now, the interview date has arrived. You are waiting. You are next in line. Before you enter, ask for permission. Say, may I come in? And then you will enter the room. Wait. You will be asked to sit down and then sit down. We may not give so much importance to it, but these little etiquettes, they take really seriously. They are good manners. That is, you're creating a very good impression in the beginning. Start your interview with basic greetings. If it is good morning, good afternoon or good evening. Then starts your interview process. Now, during interview process, make sure that you are listening to the interviewer. Though it is an interview process, the interviewer is directly or indirectly giving you information. So, make sure that you are listening to him properly. If you have any questions, wait for the interview to be over and then ask questions. Now, at the end of the interview is over. Our basic tendency is to get up and leave. Make sure that you give a decent smile or a formal handshake. That is, you are making a good final impression.
And I should thank them, correct?
Absolutely, thank them. Then, the next things will be the list of don'ts, as in things you must make sure that you absolutely don't do it. First thing will be not to be late to the interview. Absolutely. The second thing will be, don't try to pose or mimic someone else. Be yourself. Don't put up any false information in your resume or don't tell any lies in your interview. Make sure about that. The next will be confident. Be confident when you're answering, but don't be overconfident or rude to the interviewer. The next will be, do not interrupt the interviewer. that is taken to be slightly rude. If you want to ask, if you want to talk, wait for your turn. They will give you time, wait for it, and then you can speak up. I hope these tips were good enough for you.
Yes, they were. In fact, all of us have learnt a lot. Thanks a lot for the help. I'm sure I'll put it into practice for my interview.
Definitely.
Let us listen to a story.
Here's another nice, interesting story for you to read, listen, and enjoy. The title of the story is A Glass of Milk. One day, a poor boy who was selling goods from door to door to pay his way through school found he had only one thin dime left and he was hungry. He decided he would ask for a meal at the next house. However, he lost his nerve when a lovely young woman opened the door. Instead of a meal, he asked for a glass of water. She thought he looked hungry and she brought him a glass of milk. So all of you are familiar with salesmen who go from door to door selling things. Now this young man, while he was on one of his rounds, felt very hungry and he wanted to ask something from the next house. When he knocked at the door, the person who came out was a young woman, and so instead of asking for a meal, he just asked for a glass of water. He drank it slowly and then asked, "How much do I owe you?" "You don't owe me anything," she replied. "Mother has taught us never to accept payment for an act of kindness." He said, "Then I thank you from my heart." As he left that house, he felt stronger physically and his faith in God and man had strengthened. So when he heard the girl say that she doesn't want to be paid anything for the glass of milk, he felt very happy and he really started believing that there are still few good men on earth. Many years later, that young woman became critically ill. The local doctors were baffled. They finally sent her to the big city where they called in specialists to study her rare disease. Dr. Howard Kelly was called in for consultation. When he heard the name of the town she came from, a strange light filled his eyes. Immediately he rose and went down the hall of the hospital to see her in her room. Dressed in his doctor's gown, he went in to see her. He recognized her at once. He went back to the consultation room, determined to do his best to save her life. From that day, he paid special attention to the case. So now what happened is, years later, the young lady who had become old by now fell sick and the doctors in her town could not help her. So they took her to the city, and there was a famous specialist by name Dr. Howard Kelly, and she was referred to him. When he heard the name of the town she came from, he personally went there and he recognized her as the same girl who years ago had given him a glass of milk. After a long struggle, the battle was won. Dr. Kelly requested the business office to pass the final bill to him for approval. He looked at it and wrote something on the edge of the bill and sent it to her room. She feared to open it, for she was sure it would take the rest of her life to pay for it all. Finally, she looked and something caught her attention on the side of the bill. She read these words, "Paid in full with one glass of milk, signed Dr. Howard Kelly." Tears of joy flooded her eyes as her happy heart prayed, "Thank you, God, that your love has spread abroad through human hearts and hands." And now, what happened was, when this lady was cured of her disease, the hospital had to send her her bill. Now she was afraid that she's going to spend the whole life paying for it. But then Dr. Howard Kelly had returned the favor that he had got ages ago. He wrote at the side, paid with a glass of milk. And so now we realize that what we do always comes back to us. When we do good to somebody, the same good comes back to us, maybe after some years, but it does. Thank you.
Now, listen to this parable and try to find out the language elements.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of English for All. Now in this segment, we are going to listen to a narration of another small parable. After listening to the parable, let's try our best to capture the essence of the story and learn everything that we can from it. So Varsha, over to you.
Okay. Once there lived 4 brothers, Ram, Shyam, Kishan and Gopal. These 4 brothers were very poor. So the 4 brothers decided to go to the ocean front and pray to the god of the ocean. It is said to be that ocean is the guardian of some of the most valuable treasures. So all the 4 brothers went towards the ocean. The eldest brother said, "I would sit and meditate," While all the three brothers said, then we will divide all other works among ourselves. Some of us will go and bring the fire, and some of us will go bring some of the food material, while the other brother said, I will arrange for the shelter. The eldest brother, who was Ram, sat there and started his meditation. All other brothers were busy in their own works. The god of the ocean, who observed all of this, was very impressed. He said, I am really happy the way the eldest brother is completely immersed in his meditation. I am impressed the way he is concentrated in his prayers, and how all the other brothers are also working towards the same goal. I don't mind giving them some of my treasure to them so that they will overcome their troubles. But before doing so, let me test their unity. So the god would disguise himself as an old Brahmin. And the god went to the brothers. He saw that the eldest brother is meditating. And he saw that there was a second brother standing there, Shyam. The god, who dressed himself as a Brahmin, went to the second brother. He said, do you know, you're struggling so hard, you're working so hard, you're going there, bringing a lot of food supplies and working hard, and you can see that your elder brother, all he is doing is sitting and meditating. In fact, he's giving you a lot of work, he's demanding a lot of work of you, and he speaks ill of you. Did you know? Shyam said, dear sir, you're completely wrong. My brother doesn't do anything like that. I completely trust him. It is better if you leave. On hearing this, the Brahmin felt slightly bad. He went to two other brothers and he said the same rumor. He said, your brother, your eldest brother Ram, speaks ill of you. He gives you a lot of work, whereas you two are struggling a lot. Why is that? So two other brothers said, dear sir, you are completely wrong. We all are working as a team. We have that unity among ourselves. You are framing a wrong picture. I think you should leave. The Brahmin, on hearing this, on one side feels very bad that his plan didn't work out. On the other hand, like we all know, that was the god himself who was disguised, felt very impressed. And then the god came in front of the four brothers and said, I am very pleased and impressed by the way all you brothers worked as a team. I am very happy to see that the trust you all have among yourselves. Then here is my treasure. Hopefully this will help you overcome all your poverty and troubles. All the brothers took the treasure from the god of the ocean and they lived happily ever after. The essence we need to understand in this moral story is the trust each brother had in each other and the unity with which they all worked towards the same goal. We also have a lot of friends, family members, and a lot of dear friends. We also work together towards the same goal. It so happens that sometimes we get distracted because of a third person, either out of jealousy, either out of competition. There will be some rumors, something that is completely upsets us sometimes. They might say ill about one friend to another or talk something bad or irrelevant. We should also have that trust in each other and have that faith and belief so that these kind of rumors would not affect us. Just like how the Brahmins' old rumors did not affect the brothers and they worked together as a team. We must also work collectively as a team, as a family, be it with friends or be it with family. We should always work together and not let such kind of rumors affect us.
Exactly. So you're basically saying, united we stand, divided we fall.
Absolutely true.
So actually one thing, like you said, when a third person tries to spread some bad rumor out of jealousy or competition, we should not let it affect the trust we have in each other. But in case we are hurt by it, there is nothing wrong in talking to our brother or telling them, I heard so and so, it is bothering me, I want to talk to you about it. That is not wrong,
exactly,
is it?
Absolutely not wrong. Now, for example, we have seen how the brothers were working hard for the treasure of the ocean. The same way, for example, you and I are working towards the same project. Suppose there is a homework given to us, both of us are doing it collectively. But there might be a third person who would be slightly jealous of this or who might feel threatened by our friendship. That person might come and talk ill about me to you, or he might speak ill about you to me. All we need to do is have trust within each other. We should come, confront and talk so that there will be no misunderstandings. And we should have that faith just like how the brothers had, so that we will work collectively and progress towards the success.
Exactly. Along with having trust, it is also good to have an open relationship, as in be able to freely talk to the other person. Exactly. Because it is better to solve and sort out the problems that anybody we have with another, instead of just being silent about it and having the doubt whether it is true or not. I think that is also something that we should do in case it ever comes to such a situation for any one of us.
Very well said. I'm sure by the small example and that small moral story, you were able to catch the essence and underlined the words trust and unity, and keep it to yourself, among your friends, and progress towards success without letting any other third person or any other rumor affect you. And thank you all for joining again.